So perhaps David Horowitz, one of the top experts on this disease, can break down what's happening. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Alex. It is a disease. Look, the left is a crypto-religious movement or a religious cult. And by left, I include the Democratic Party, progressives. They have all these names that hide what they actually are. But they believe the world is a fallen place, although they wouldn't use such an expression. It's a place of oppression, a hierarchy, domination, and so forth. And they believe in a redemption. But the redemption is going to be carried out by them instead of a divinity. True religions understand that we're the problem. It's people that are the problem, and therefore you really can't fix it. And that's why, conservatives are prone to a kind of fatalistic view. Things are probably going to get worse. And that handicaps them in this battle. But for the left, there's this promised land. I'm afraid the Jews are responsible for this idea. There's this promised land, which used to be called communism or socialism, but now it's called social justice, where all their dreams are going to be fulfilled. So if you understand that they're a religious cult, you will also understand that they see themselves as the army of the saints, and they see the rest of us, those who don't go along with their program, as the party of the devil.
And I mean, in fact, that's what they say. It's just wild. So Rachel Maddow, college professors, they're all in the priesthood.
That's right. And they see, that's what they talk like hellfire and damnation preachers all the time. That's why the Democrats are so effective politically. Everything they say is a moral indictment. Republicans talk like accountants. It doesn't motivate people as powerfully as the left's vision does, and it doesn't kill their enemies the way the left's resort to, calling you a racist, sexist, homophobe, deplorable. The Democratic Party is a party of hate. It runs on hate all the time, and that it sort of glues up their mind. So when they see Islam, they see people of color because they're racists. The term people of color is a racist term. We don't speak that way in English. There they are.
So it's cult programming, exactly. So where are they now? What's happening to them worldwide? Why are they like tripling their viciousness?
Well, because they see that Trump is a serious threat. Brexit is a threat. They like governments which are completely unresponsive to the people, because the people are the problem. That's why they put so many people in the gulag and shoot so many people when they get the power, because they have a program to
Exactly. Their religion has reduced the Earth's population. David Rockefeller, Bill Gates, they're the high priest of all this. And their final secret, I guess, that you learn in the cult is people are the problem, kill everybody.
Well, yeah, that's the end game. But along the way, people are the problem because they don't go along with their socialist ideas. This is the problem. They got defeated in the election. They can't accept that. So they call it a resistance. And this is true.
And you predicted 20 plus years ago exactly what would happen in the future, because now I've read most of your books. Then tell us, looking forward, Mr. Horowitz, what's going to happen in the future if we don't really take action, and what we should do to stop these people, because they're clearly bloodthirsty authoritarians.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dianne Feinstein said the other day that their strategy is to impeach Trump. That's what these hearings are about. And these hearings show how stupid Republicans are. Why would Devin Nunes call a hearing on the Russian collusion when there's no evidence of it?
He's playing along like a little cucked coward.
Well, no, it's because they think they can appease these people. He thinks that, okay, we'll hold hearings and then they'll see we're reasonable and we actually want to see da-da-da-da.
No, it shows weakness and they attack more.
Exactly. That's not what the hearings are about. These Democrats, they don't even ask questions that Comey can answer. They read indictments.
They just say, is Russia the enemy?
And it's all coordinated.
And then they go, is Trump talking to Russia? Well, of course the president talks to Russia. That's this new thing. Like, if he ever talks to Russia, it's illegal.
Who in his right mind could think that Trump is colluding with the Russians against America? The only people who are capable of that are Democrats.
In fact, you're an expert on this. Your parents were involved in it. I mean, they had the whole history. It's always Democrats with the Russians.
My mother was a card-carrying communist and a registered Democrat. And there are lots of those, lots of them. But you don't have to be a member of the Communist Party to think like a communist. You just have to believe that there's an earthly redemption called social justice or communism, same thing. And that if you get enough power and you demonize your opponents enough and destroy them, you can achieve this wonderful redemption. Right?
Meanwhile, they call us bullies. So what's their plan to get Trump out? And if they get him out, what do we expect and how do we stop him?
Well, their plan now, first it's to tar him with this Russia brush. But look, they've driven, Trump has done so many, I mean, you discussed some of the amazing things he's already done. It's only 2 months. You know, he's got the stock market.
Which, by the way, your book breaks down. Let's talk about your book.
Big agenda. Trump's plan to save America. Yeah, I have all the things that you knew he was going to do. You know, during the campaign, when he was a little bit more unknown what he would do as a politician, people said, oh, he's not going to fulfill any of his promises. But here's a guy who puts his name on everything he does, puts his name on his buildings, his resorts, his airplanes.
His whole dynasty is about legacy, is about delivering.
Correct. His reputation. There's no way on earth he's not going to build the wall.
That's why he's doing it. And so they get more and more enraged.
Exactly. Well, they don't hear and they don't see. I mean, it's so hypocritical. Here, Hillary actually violated the espionage laws. She lied to the FBI. She lied to the public. She lied to the Congress. She shared our secrets with all our enemies, not just Russia, but
China,
North Korea, Iran, China. And she got
it's total projection. Everything they say about Trump.
Correct.
In fact, it's almost sickening how good he is. He's like so good compared to them. It's such upside down world. Then they project everything they are admittedly onto this guy who's got the whole corrupt elite against him because he's delivering prosperity.
Correct. Once you understand it's a religious cult, you can they don't think.
And by the way, Bannon admits, he reads you, he wants to break their cult. Those are his writings, obviously inspired by your truth, because you're just seeing objective truth. We're like following Horowitz here. It's true. It's a cult. They're the new priesthood. They want to take over like Jim Jones or something, or North Korea. And then Trump wants to break the cult by prosperity and independence.
Yes. You know, when you're talking about your upbringing and my upbringing in the communist progressive Democrat world was to see the world entirely in terms of oppression. There are people who are oppressed and there are oppressors. And as I said, that phrase, people of color, that's the key. It's not English. We don't say, here's a box of crayons of color. That's the way French people talk. But if you call them colored people, you're a racist. So what is the function of this ideological construct, people of color? Well, look at Mexico. It's got two main ethnic groups, the descendants of the Spanish conquistadors who slaughtered the indigenous Indians and the descendants of the survivors of the indigenous Indians. But when they cross the border into America, they're both people of color, therefore oppressed, therefore deserving certain sensitivities and certain privileges. But if you think further, Maharajas in India are people of color. The beheaders, the Islamic beheaders in Raqqa are people.
Sure. I mean, it's a way to just take classical racism that we've heard of the last 200 years here and just flip it.
Exactly right. The only people in the world who aren't people of color and therefore are oppressors, not oppressed, are white people. This is a massive anti-white racism that the Democratic Party, that's what it's about. They look at your origins. It's why they do all these gotcha moments. You have money.
I've also found the left, it always gets caught funding the white supremacist movements. Like the top guy will really be a federal agent, and the people under him, they're running around. It's very sophisticated. Or Soros funding all the Black Lives Matter groups. I mean, what's all that about? Just, I guess, a strategy of tension?
Well, blacks are the battering ram to destroy the system. Those blacks that follow organizations like Black Lives Matter is a racist organization. The left has always been anti-police. I mean, that's what we hated. The police are an occupying force in our country. That's the way the left looks.
And the police can be good or bad, but the point is they want control in the bullying of the police to then persecute everybody.
The police are bad because they protect property. Now, you have to think like a leftist. That's the way they think. So Black Lives Matter, of course Soros is funding them. Soros is an anti-American, self-hating Jew is what he is.
Yeah, what is his problem? I mean, this country gives him freedom, everything. He tries to destroy it.
His problem is he's a very corrupt individual. And
by the way, the WikiLeaks came out, but you called him a self-hating Jew a long time ago. It's in there that he wants to destroy Israel and is creeping around. And then Israel has all these articles defending him and attacking Trump in a lot of their newspapers like Horowitz, making up crap that I like Hitler with no proof and that he likes Hitler. What is going on with that? Like a Nazi collaborator wants to destroy Israel, but he's good in Israel. And then I don't want to destroy Israel, so I'm Hitler.
Those are their weapons. They don't care about the facts. They're not interested in the facts. They see the world as polarized between the oppressors and the oppressed. And if you defend America, if you defend...
So it doesn't matter if it's a leftist Jew or a leftist guy from Africa or who it is, they just think the same.
Exactly. Exactly. Across the world. Why are they so soft on Islamic terrorists? Because they're people of color.
It's crazy. So, well, David Horowitz, let's talk about ways... your top points, because I'm asking the questions here, but I'm sure you got a lot of key points you want to make. The 6-7 minutes we have left, advice to Trump, advice to America, because I mean, you are somebody that really was the first person I heard about the caliphate and Sharia law, and the left's made a deal, and I was just like, give me a break, because I never thought they would just trash a lot of their leftist views of freedom, equality that sounded good, but I guess that was their way to get power. That was all just talk.
Yeah, you know, I understand your puzzlement, because even when Saddam Hussein swallowed Kuwait, and if you'll remember, I mean, the Democrats did not want to support even that war. I waited to see I said, is the left really going to support Saddam Hussein, this mass murderer monster? And sure enough, they did. They've supported every enemy of the United States since the Second World War. That's just who they are. They hate America.
So you know him better than most, to say at least. David Horowitz, the Big Agenda bestselling author. What do they do next?
Well, I think they're going to carry out this campaign until they destroy the Trump presidency.
And what does he do to stop them?
Well, instinctively, he knows how to fight. You have to be the aggressor. You have to be on offense all the time. Do not defend yourself. The mistakes they've made were mistakes that Trump allowed himself to be overridden. They should never...
Exactly. Everything. I'm not just kissing Trump's ass. It's true. Every mistake's been them. Like, he didn't tell Sessions to recuse. He didn't apologize. He reversed that. And he needs to tell his people, you do what I execute and say, not what you want.
And it wasn't his idea to go with the second immigration, temporary ban either, and eliminate Iraq from the countries. They should have constructed it a little better. But
because they're not dealing with another side that wants to make compromises. They want to literally overrun everything.
Exactly. They don't. When you compromise, you're just giving that. It's not
compromise.
It's Neville Chamberlain all over again.
Yeah, exactly. I have a letter here from Hitler. He's not going to invade France. And then he invades it a week later. So going back to this, the time we have left.
It's a racist party. That's the first words that need to be on every Republican's lips. There's a chapter of my book, Big Agenda.
Well, that's what got Trump in, was being honest about the Democrats being a race-based party.
Yeah, but he was right. And you just keep driving it home.
And again, we're not saying everybody that's in it's racist. Hey, this is a race-baiting party. You shouldn't be in it if you're part of that.
It's worse than that, Alex. The chapter of my book is called The Achilles Heel of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party owns every major inner city in America, every killing field, Detroit, Chicago, Ferguson, St. Louis, Baltimore, 100% controlled by the Democratic Party.
And they're hellholes. It's their fault.
Exactly. And look, they're very clever at the political battle. So when he says there's these killing fields, They say he's being racist against the inner city, running down the inner city. It's so absurd, but people can see that. But I don't hear Republicans saying to Debbie Wasserman Schultz or Donna Brazil.
Exactly. They're intimidated. Trump's not. Don't they see from his example not being intimidated when you have the moral high ground is the answer?
Here's the thing, Alex, when you think about it, the three key people in that administration, Donald Trump, Stephen Bannon, and Steve Miller, all come from the left. They're all were in really Democrat union.
They know how to respond back.
They have the passion.
No, you're right. The so-called right wing are a bunch of stuffed shirts, a bunch of cowards, a bunch of accountants who literally just roll over to the media and are scared of it and have no instincts for victory. You're absolutely right.
Correct. And my book, Big Agenda, is really a guide to how to fight this battle. But the first rule is you fight fire with fire. You don't retreat. You don't back down. And you go for their jugular. They're the ones who own all how many blacks have been murdered because of Democrats in this country?
It's like 3,000 a year in Chicago, and they blame it on Trump.
Exactly. They have these gun control laws in Chicago and other Democrat cities that deprive law-abiding black citizens in high-crime areas of the only protection that they'll get.
And then they wonder why the areas are crime magnets.
They have catch-and-release policies for convicted felons. That's how Dwayne Wade's cousin, a mother of 4 children, was murdered.
And then they know they've been destroying black communities and every other community they control. They turn it all around about a race narrative to project on everybody what they've done. They consciously know they're slugs.
And they're anti-Americans and they're liars. Look, you name me one Republican besides Trump who on national TV would have looked Hillary Clinton in the eye and said,
so you're a criminal.
You're a liar and a crook, which he is both. And that's because they're either too polite or too cowardly to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Trump's only thing is letting his people speak for him, and these Gallup polls are fake. Like I told everybody during the election, they're fake. They're going back to their fake polls. All right, well, David Horowitz, the book's A Big Agenda. I've read it. It's amazing.
So I have a website called Black Book of the American Left. I've written 7, actually, it'll be 9 volumes when it's complete, just about the left and how they think. I'd be happy to send you a set if you're interested.
Please do, and let's have you back on sometime for a full hour to maybe with graphs or something to walk through them all. But yeah, no, you're dead on, David Horowitz. And I just think, in my gut, though, I think Trump's going to strike back. I think we're going to win. What do you think?
I hope so. I fear that they're going to assassinate him.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling. I'm trying to be positive here, but it's 50-50. I think it's up to us and what we do now, how much we speak out, how much we get involved.
You have a big audience. Get everybody out there. Get out and fight. Fight at every level. Go to those town hall meetings. Confront them. Defend Trump and his agendas.
Sure, David. On Drudge, we have a report with NSA documents they were spying on Trump proven. I hope you'll get those out to your audience. We've also got to work together as patriots. Thank you so much, David. We'll be back. Stay with us. Roger Stone with breaking news.